Come on down to the prices.
The Price is Right.
The Price is Right. This is not The Price is Right. This is Film Study, an All American Universe podcast. Welcome to it. You know who I am, but for those who don't, I am Lexi. And today we will be talking about 515. That is very strange to say out loud that there's been 5 seasons of the show and we're on the 15th
Right?
episode of the 5th season.
Like, what? Weren't we just on season 3?
Girl. So yeah, 515 United in Grief. This is the last of the sort of immediate grief arc. And so I got Carmen on the pod. It's like you haven't been on the pod in a while, but you actually were just on for Homecoming. So this
Right? Just on.
different
Just recorded last week. Yes.
just recorded. But I'm so used to having you on more frequently. But now, we got a whole bunch of people that listen and we had some fun guests on.
Yes.
But now you're
People got
back. You haven't
different
been. You haven't
themes.
reviewed it. You haven't reviewed an All American episode since what was it? Episode 3?
I have no idea.
I think it was 3. Of season 5. So anyway, you're back, and we're talking about Spencer's Grief episode, United in Grief. Let's get into it. All right. Overall thoughts, rating, you know the deal.
I would give this, I would say an 8.5.
An 8.5.
Yes.
You know what? I think that's a fair rating. I think maybe it's an 8 point. No, I have to give it an 8.5. I was gonna try to lower it, but I have to give it an 8.5 simply for the Dr. Spears scenes. I think the Dr. Spears and Spencer scenes I adored, and shout out to Adrian Dukes who wrote the episode, and shout out to uh, Avi or Avi Ubian who directed. But yeah, this was a good episode. Maybe as we get into it, maybe I'll lower it. Maybe it'll be closer to an
Excuse
8.3,
me.
8.2.
Excuse
Maybe
me.
it'll be a 7.
No, it's an 8. It's an 8. At least an 8. Okay.
This is my rating. 8.5 is yours. I'm saying I haven't figured out to that point. Clearly I have some mixed feelings on the storylines. But yeah, an 8 is pretty solid, and I'll tell you this: I'm somewhere in between a 7 and an 8.5.
What? That's a big gap.
It is a big gap. Them half points
No.
begets you. Them
No.
little decimals.
I will accept that you're between an 8 and an 8.5.
I'm between a 7 and an 8.5.
I said what I said.
I love it, but I'm between a 7 and an 8.5.
That is a big gap. Okay.
It is.
Well, I
and
guess we will find out why.
Honestly, it's a big gap, and I love that you said that's a big gap, because that is how I felt about this episode. That there were parts that I really really loved, and parts that I just did not. And I don't want to say did not connect with, but just um it didn't land for me in the succession of storytelling that we've gotten thus far in the grief episodes. And anyway, so yeah, somewhere in between. But those are our ratings, those are our thoughts. Let's get into JJ first, just because we haven't seen him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I had Kaya on last week, and we just threw out there, like, what if JJ comes and he's just like better?
And he
it
did.
happened.
And he did. And he did. He did.
That is what happens. He comes just walking into the beach house like he's been here the whole time, and was just like, all the party stuff is in the rear view.
Yep.
And he's just like, I'm ready to focus on football and only football. And Asher's talking to him, and he's just like, let's get started, right? The eager kid at the first day of school. And he Asher's like, yeah, or the meetings, they're not even like starting yet. He's just like, who cares, being an hour, was it hour
Right. Being
early,
early
is
is
showing up
late. Yes.
is being late. So he was here to prove something. And as he's proving it, as he's answering all of these questions in the film study session, Coach Montez, he's not feeling it. Like, he's impressed, but he's like, I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I believe it,
Exactly.
because
He doesn't trust it how long it's gonna stay that way.
we've all watched JJ over the course of several months in the show's timeline. Several months, a whole, what is it, semester and a half almost. They're almost at the end of the next semester. So a whole, almost a year of freshman life, we've witnessed JJ just not taking things seriously. But he is trying to stay on a path, and he runs into some of his frat brothers, whatever, and they're surprised that he doesn't want to party. Jabari, which I have my thoughts on that, but Jabari is just like,
You talking about Jabari heard about his reputation?
I was
Yes.
like, why are we seeing
Like
this man?
what? Why did we put that there? Like
Why is he here? I love you, man. In
I
Crenshaw,
just trying to figure out how did Jabari hear about JJ parties. I'm trying to figure that
I mean, that's the part. But I feel like JJ always, like, remember JJ, one of JJ's first introductions,
because he
this was like
invited people.
yeah, he invited people
Jay
to
was like, "How
Chris's
did JJ get
house.
my number?"
How
Yes,
did,
but
not,
Jabari
not
wasn't
even not
around
even
then.
number. This was like way back, and Chris was like, "How does he know the address to my house?" And then obviously, all the way up until now, who is JJ? Why is he playing on my phone?
Yes, yes.
Just so that it makes sense for that, but
I guess I don't know how. I
I
don't. I
guess
don't know because I
I
don't see
just don't know
Jabari
why it's
friends.
Jabari. I just don't know why it's Jabari that we're saying
Yes,
all this.
Jabari wasn't
But
around
anyway,
for any of them things.
exactly. But Jabari tells JJ that he's lucky to have Asher, Coach Asher, just like Jabari had Coach Billy, Coach Bake. Um.
Even though I was
Anyway,
like,
yeah,
Jabari, he had Billy first though, right? But I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let, you know.
that's true. It's really funny when. Let's not even get into that, because then I'm gonna get on a whole rant, and I don't want to do that today.
I'm just saying, like,
I know.
wasn't Billy his coach for 3 years in high school? So I
And
was
speak
like,
of, didn't he say Coach Baker's boys would be back? Exactly. So
yes,
I
yes.
don't know why, Carmen, why did you get me on this line of thought? Because now I'm just like, I don't know why they're like, not necessarily purposefully, but like they're setting up this, like, you know, revisionist history about how Billy was always for Crenshaw. It just bugs me. It bothers me so
Like
much.
he was just this super, yeah, yeah,
Like,
for
that man
Jabari.
literally just came back. Like, let's not pretend. Anyway, so Montez sees JJ later on. He stays past the meeting time, and you know he tells him, like, I don't usually do second chances, and if you blow off the program again, you're
You're done.
done. JJ sees the alcohol in his bag. He's just like, I don't need it. And then the last we hear of it is that um he essentially he was supposed to take Asher to the thing for Spencer at the end, but Asher texts Jordan that he couldn't find him, so that sort of left on a little bit of a cliffhanger with JJ. So maybe he did take the drink, who knows, and then spiraled. So what did you think about that?
I'm very interested in trying to figure out what exactly is going on with JJ because they have yet to like. We haven't really got any really clues or anything. Yeah, we know that he definitely have to be going through something, and it's
You don't think we
deeper
got
than
clues? You don't
partying.
think it's alcoholism?
But I'm saying, what is his reason? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, what is the reason
because
that
this started, to your point, it started before Billy died.
yeah,
So
way before Billy. And that's why I'm like, we still haven't even got a hint of a reason why he's drinking alcohol
right.
like this. So I'm really like can't wait till they let us know like what exactly is going on with JJ because it ain't just him
Especially
partying.
because he's just not here every episode, so it's just
Hmm.
like, okay, like it's one of those things where it's just like, can we wrap it up? I'm kidding.
Can you tell us like because like literally has it been the whole season? Was it did
It's
it
been
start
the
in
whole
4?
season. It's
Oh
been the
yeah,
whole
it's
season.
been the whole season. It's like, and we haven't even got a hint of what's wrong
And
with
wait,
him. Like
hasn't it? It's been beyond the whole season
that's why
because
I said,
after
didn't
he
it start
started
in
his
4?
little coaching thing, yeah, it started in 4. It starts, so it's just like,
Well, I
can
think
we
yeah,
wrap
I'm
it
not.
up?
Yeah, if it did start in 4, then it's really
It
time to
did.
like
It did
just
start
go
in
ahead
4.
and give us this what's going on with JJ because he's not okay.
I think it escalated. Like it wasn't as serious maybe as it is now, but it's been this whole like, we don't know what's going on with JJ. JJ doesn't really let us, he doesn't let us see the deeper him, and sort of then it spilled over into this season, right? It was that whole thing at Halloween. We won't even last two. Like that.
You talking about when JJ died because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was heartbroken, pretty much.
So yeah, we'll see where it is, but I think you and I are along the same lines of this, and just like, can we? We just want to know so that we can move forward.
Yeah, just tell
So
us.
that we
Like,
can move
just tell
forward.
us.
Just tell us,
Just tell us what's wrong with him.
please. We beg. Um. So look, I don't know why they've decided to do this thing in the last, and I really want to say it's like the last season. But really it's been like a season and a half where
Hmm.
Patience is just not confident, and I feel it's like more than being like a new artist and all of that and
Yes,
like
it's
worrying about her
definitely
artistry.
it's
It's just like
yes.
she's like insecure as a person, and that's really interesting because I do not feel like she was introduced that way. And obviously you can go deeper into the character and all that stuff, but it's like it's manifesting itself in different ways. In the last season, it was she was super lazy, right? Like, and she didn't want to take opportunities, and that's what they did with her character. And then in this season, she's literally becoming an idiot.
Oh, she said it.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm just look. We
oh,
This is 2 years at the pod. We not finna.
oh. Say we done. We not sugarcoating. We
We're
saying what
not
we saying.
sugarcoating. It's
We
2023,
saying it with our
y'all.
chest. We saying it with our chest.
It's 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And so, so yeah.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's so why I don't want to use the term like I think the proper sort of television technical term for it is like I want to say it's like the bimbofication or something along those lines, but it's basically like the process in storytelling in TV where they just like start to make a woman character dumb or just
Mm-hmm.
not smart. And I feel like as frustrated as I was sort of last season with Patience's laziness, right? It never reached the frustration that I have right now with seeing her just make stupid decisions.
Do you think that they like that they are giving her a under like something that's not okay with her? Because honestly, like ever since her breakup with Coop, she just came off as this insecure, not sure of herself person, and that wasn't patient before.
But that's what I'm saying, and I just don't understand why we're getting this
That's all I'm
because I'm
saying. You think
like,
there's a
is
storyline
something not
they're trying to
okay
work
with
up?
every single one of these characters?
You don't think it's a storyline they're trying to work up? I don't know.
I
At least I hope.
don't
I
think
hope
it's
it is.
I mean, I hope it is too. That sounded
She's like,
so.
this better not be in
Let
vain.
me
This better not be in vain.
I don't let me rephrase. I don't think it's in vain. I think
Mhm.
I just wish they would have chosen a different story to tell in like in the middle of the fact that she's been dealing with these insecurities already. And so I just like with this stalker storyline, it's not just the stalker storyline, it's
Mhm.
the stalker storyline plus she's insecure. And I'm like, just the insecurity alone is like something to work with.
Mhm.
And I guess what I'm really trying to say is like I wish we'd pick a lane with patience and stay in it. And I didn't realize I felt this way until talking to you, but I really think that's where I'm at right now is I really because I don't like this. I think the stalker storyline on its own would be interesting, but I don't love that the stalker storyline
I don't
is
either.
now paired up with this her insecurities because then it just seems like the character is dumb and she's not dumb.
She's not.
She's not
And she's not. And
stupid.
not only she's not dumb, she's not desperate. You know what I'm saying? Like
Girl.
that's not pay. I don't know how we got to this patient, and that's why I say I really hope they have a underline, like a somewhere in the storyline where they go with this because patient has never been this patient, and it's like, what did y'all?
Never. Like
Is she
this
lost without
person
proof?
complaining to Layla episode in and episode out. Oh, I don't have the views. Oh, I just don't know. Oh, we made a joke out of it, and this was super early on, and because it was still something to be made a joke out of when she was just like, oh, like that's not me, but it's getting old. It's getting old.
Oh
I love Chelsea. Does not like I love Chelsea down. I impersonate all of the characters.
well, I'm with you. I'm like with you. I am so. I've been ready for them to give her because her character is great. So it's like, why
And
are
that's
we
what I'm saying. Like
testing her in
we're
this
supposed
way?
to expect that the girl that knew to take Coop's gun that was
Come
hiding
on,
in her
testify,
closet
testify.
without nobody needing to tell her and threw it in the freaking river
Come on.
because she was that much of a writer for Coop, which is a whole nother story. But she was that much of a writer for Coop that this girl is leaving her cell phone and ignoring Layla's warnings, even though Layla was just kidnapped like what a year ago at this point. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly. And the same one who, when she, what was the girl name she met up with, who she thought was in on stealing her song? The Jewel, something like
Oh
that.
yeah, Lil
I
Jewel,
remember
Lil
when she
Jewel.
met up with her, she had so much attitude. We're like, where is that patient?
Well,
Like,
Lil Jewel, where is
yes,
she?
where is she at? Is she not
Where
patient
is the
without proof?
patience that was just like I'm not satisfied playing bubblegum pop? Like that
Yes,
was I'm just so confused.
I am too. And I'm really tired of the storyline. I'm tired of the storyline of
I'm
she's
just
unsure.
tired of seeing
I'm
patience
tired of it.
complain is really where it's at. I'm just tired
And
of
now
seeing her
she's so
complain.
and now she's so desperate that she's being vulnerable to the stalker. Like, what? Like, no.
And it's not just being vulnerable to the stalker, it's being vulnerable to the stalker to a stupid degree. Like this girl, this
Yes.
weirdo has your freaking home address and you're meeting up with her at a coffee shop and somebody pointed this out. This tells you how crazy it is. I mean, we knew it was crazy. Did the spyware on her phone, tapped into the phone, heard over the conversation, all that. But
Mhm.
Miko been following this girl since before they even met officially.
Yep.
Was following her when Patience did that live. Remember when when I said they need to lean more into Patience becoming a crazy artist and just like losing herself in her artistry or whatever, when she was just like, on live, going off on people on live.
Yes.
She's been following her since then in the background at Slosson's.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess maybe that's where the writer's going with it, that the bigger she becomes, the more vulnerable she becomes to social media and all that stuff. Because it does happen. But I just need
but
some
I would rather
direction
see
in the
her
storyline.
like again, I'd rather see her get into Twitter arguments. I'd rather see her do another live. I'd rather see her become a prima donna than see her become stupid.
And not just become, stay. Like, she don't just have a moment, she stayed.
stays complaining, and stays just like, and I think we're just tired. We're tired. But as
That
far as
is
it being woven into this episode, I don't think it took away from the episode at any cost. So I think structure wise, it was great. The balance was there.
we don't went in on the patient storyline. Okay, we gotta.
Woo! Patience and JJ. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I'm kidding. I did not expect to be doing all this today. Anyway,
Well,
it
it's how
is
the
what it
cookies
is.
crumble.
That's how the cookie crumbles. It's because I care so deeply about this story. Jordan. This is also something that I saw coming, and it's I can I say this? I love what they're doing with Jordan this season. Um, and I think it's what they're doing with Jordan is showing his growth in a way that they've set up previously. Um, because I was just like, with the last episode, oh, I hope that, they're showing, because the synopsis said something about his leadership. And I was just like, I hope with this leadership storyline that they show that sometimes Jordan, you know, in an effort to be really eager, just falls into a leadership style that's not necessarily him, and he doesn't need to do that. And boom, what do
And
we
that's what
explore?
happened. That's exactly what happened this episode.
That's exactly what happened. So he was getting on some of the star receivers.
Oh, I say Jordan's gonna fight. Jordan's going
And
to
he
get in
did
a
and
fight
did
every season.
certainly get into a fight real quickly.
What?
He said
He said,
that night stuff that
don't
only
let
applies to
Beverly
Layla.
Hill fool you. Like Jordan be ready to fight. Like
Ready to fight. Ready to fight. All every single time.
I said, Jordan,
Every
I
single
thought you wasn't
time.
gonna get in a fight.
Um
This like you. There you go. There you go. Not only did he get into a fight, he well, his insult game is crazy too. Like he
it really
like
is.
he said it's like your fifth season or ninth, something like that. He said like
Literally,
God, yes. I was like
he could be so
Jordan.
mean. He be so mean sometimes.
What? That's what I say. Not only will he fight his
Just be talking
insult,
reckless. Jordan just be talking reckless sometimes.
yes, but his insult game make you want to fight him because he would say some things. Ooh,
that that but anyway, so yeah, laying into this dude about running the incorrect route. Or getting on the dude, and then Kenny lays into Jordan, um,
yes, he did.
pretty hard
Because
about,
he's still upset with Spencer James.
yeah, cause yeah, and then he apologized, and he's like, "Oh, my bad. It's just I saw Spencer earlier," um, and he had just been saying over and over like, "I'm the coach. I'm the coach," uh, which was interesting. Which was interesting. Um, and so Jordan's just like, "Well, I was just trying to be a leader, sir."
That part.
That's one thing about Jordan. As we're mentioning, like him being so quick to put up his fist. Um, when he gets into situations with authority, you
Hmm.
see the need. You see the need to impress. You see the need to, yeah, just you see the need to impress. You see the need to please the
Yes,
authority figure, especially as it comes to football. And I
football.
think that's just really interesting now that I'm thinking about it. Because it's still the same, in some ways, just like we saw Spencer, um, obviously in a more noticeable way, reverting back to some of his old behaviors. But I think that, in that moment, Jordan coming back and being like, wait, I was just trying to impress you. Um, that was also young Jordan too.
Yes, yes. That, like you said, that was the need to please Jordan. Like
Just trying
Yeah.
to prove himself over and over and over again. I was just trying to be a good leader.
Yeah. And
um,
especially when he felt like he had done something right and he just wasn't understanding. He was like, he looked so puzzled. He was not expecting the reaction that he got from Coach Q.
right,
Yeah, he looked so
right.
puzzled.
And what I loved about this is that um Kenny actually came back and was just like, "That's my bad," and actually like guided him through what was going on because, and I've said this before, is that people don't love particularly like when he asks them, and like again authority figures, they don't love to give Jordan the answer when he asks the question. They love to let
Mhm.
Jordan figure it out on his own, which I don't
Mhm.
think is the case with some of the other men on the show. And so that I love that Kenny just, after he was just like, oh, it's not really about you, but he was just like, look, they're not responding to your leadership. And I was just like, see, that's he just needs a little guidance.
Exactly. He apologized, but he still stood behind, that part. Like, yeah, I shouldn't have came at you like that, but no, I still meant what I said when I said, like,
Right.
yeah,
Right, and it's what he needed to hear, and he took the direction quick.
uh
He took
huh,
the direction quick. Uh, this was, I want to call this out because it's one thing that confused me a little bit, but then on the second watch, I got it. Is that, I assume that they're back to doing sort of 2 a day workouts, 2 a day practices,
hmm
because there's a moment this whole episode spanned a day, and it's only been a day since Jordan's episode. Like that was literally yesterday in the show's timeline. Um, and so Jordan left to go to the Baker house. We'll get back to that conversation that he had with Coop and Liv, but left to go to the Baker house and then sort of came back to practice, did the little, figured out that he wanted to hold like a touchdown celebration, do the gritty, for the team, and then they
I
sort
was
of
with Coach with that. I didn't think it was gonna work neither.
continued the practice, and it worked. Well, when you give the guys a little incentive,
Yeah.
give the guys a little incentive. Look, because, and it's so funny because I thought about again, I'm an NFL fan, so I thought about the NFL and people like they plan those celebrations. They plan those celebrations. They plan those out. They like, ooh, I'm gonna do this. Like what
Uh huh.
my favorite player, Lamar Jackson, who's having a little bit of a tough time with his contract right now, but did this
Yeah,
famous
y'all.
like
Lexi is she's a real deal football fan. Like, I have no idea the person she just said, but Lexi is a
oh my
really
gosh.
diehard football fan. Like, yeah. For anybody who didn't know, yes, she is.
But anyway, the point is that he pre-planned doing a flip in the end zone. And people were just like, "All right, don't do that again because you landed on your behind." But just to show that like they do care about like, oh, what dance am I finna do in the end zone? And some people have signature dances. Ray Lewis, another guy that was famous on my team, had a signature dance. So I was not surprised that it worked out. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say on that. Um, and then they get this like last little bit of information, which was helpful for Spencer's story as we transition into that. Is
Hmm.
that my sister said, you know, you
You don't
can't
give
quit
up.
on your people. Yeah,
Yes,
don't quit on your people. Quitting on your people is never an
not
option.
an option.
And then
Something like
Kenny
that.
says, that's wise. Exactly.
Right? That's a wise woman. He says it
A
after
wise
Jordan
woman.
walks away, though. That's a
I
wise woman.
know. Should have said it while he was still
I
there.
swear, I swear, all Americans can be so dramatic. Sometimes I be like,
They
you
do.
like that's a wise woman,
Literally. Literally.
but
The
she
drama
is,
is
but she is, but she
she
is.
is, she is. But it's and I guess this is the section that I can't avoid, the section that I've been dreading.
What section?
How's that for a transition? How's that for a transition?
Wait,
The
we can't
section
do
that
live
I've been
before we do the
dreading.
doctor, right? We can't do live before we do the doctor.
All right. Well, we're going to pause on the section that I've been dreading. And we'll skip to, you want to do Spencer first?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'll have Spencer, but let's do the doctor, and then because I mean, Hers was at the end of the episode.
Okay, well, you heard it, audience, and that's where we're going. As I wanted to end it on a high note, but Carmen wants to end it on a low note. Is what I'm
Wow. Wow. That's the okay, yeah, we gonna get to that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
had to stop it right there, but stay tuned for us talking about part 2 of this, which is everything having to do with Spencer and Liv being there for him. So stay tuned for that.